Hi, ladies. This is just a random vlog on um, some interesting things like raising kids here in the Philippines, especially I'm talking about raising kids here in Manila. When I talk about raising a baby, it makes me nervous because I don't know if I'm even ready to have a baby. You know what I mean? It's like I'm 35 weeks. And as I near term, the more I feel clueless about raising a kid. Like, I'm doing research on how to raise a smart kid and all that. It's really scary because, you know, the future of somebody depends on me now. And it's, it's scary and it's a big responsibility. Of course, I want to do everybody, every mother, every father wants to do everything right, so that their child will be a successful person someday. Um, so anyway, here in the Philippines, we are a very well. I'm speaking of most families here. Um, Especially like my family and my friends' family. Like the families that I'm exposed to. So most families here in the Philippines are extended families, meaning in one house usually you see the nuclear family, the mom and dad and the kids, and um, usually their grandparents, or sometimes um, the nuclear family still lives with the grandparents' house. Like for us, we have three houses because I'm speaking of the apartment that we have, which is near our work, very convenient. And the two houses that I'm talking about would be my parents' house and my husband's parents' house. We consider them our houses also um, there. So we're very lucky in a sense that um, we have a lot of help with our babies. That's why here in the Philippines there are no, or very, very, very few um, daycares, because we have our relatives to take care of the baby. When the mother or father goes to work, we can leave our baby with either my parents or his parents, or even my brother or sister, or my aunts and uncles, because we live near by each other. Um, so that's very, very convenient. Of course, when it comes to privacy, um, I don't. I guess we're used to the fact that there's a lot of people in the house. Sometimes, um, you have your own room, you have your own space, and it's our way of living here. Most families. I'm speaking of most families, and then. Um, Maybe that's why we do not really require a car seat, is because there's so many people who can hold the baby for us. Um, Especially when we travel, we have a driver, we have a nanny. Um, so if I will go, for example, to the mall, I have a nanny with me, or I will have, if the driver is available, because we have one driver for the whole family. So, but of course the priority would be my mom, because she has a bad back. She has back problems, um, so she needs a driver more. But yeah, if for example I have a checkup, the driver would pick me up here in our apartment and bring me to the hospital. So if my husband is at work, and So if we travel, there's somebody always to hold the baby. But then, as I've said in my previous vlog, I do not feel comfortable when my baby would be traveling. I want her in a car seat, even if there's a nanny with her or a relative or my mom or whoever, because I do not want to blame somebody if something happens. You know what I mean? So I want to be on the safe side. So some families prefer to have a car seat. Also, another reason why most families do not use a car seat is, as I've said, we are an extended family. So sometimes when we travel, it's not like in Canada wherein the number of seat belts to the number of persons in the car, right? But here in the Philippines, as long as you can fit inside a car, no matter how many you are, it's okay. So if you have a car seat and there's a lot of people who will need to ride the car, it's going to be a problem because, the space, the limited space. So that's also one of the reasons why usually most people or most families don't use car seats. Plus, of course, car seats are added expenses. And I don't know if I've mentioned before that majority of the baby things that are sold in the States are twice or even triple the price here. Like the pack and play that costs about, let's say, $150 would cost like $350 here. That's why it's much more expensive to raise kids here in terms of baby gears. But of course, we do not spend on daycare and all that. So, and what else? Let me check. So basically, and then as I said, we're a close-knit family. Usually on a Sunday, we'll all go to Mass, and then after Mass, we go to the grandparents' house for a small gathering, just hang out, and yeah. Usually that's on a Sunday, so we usually gather with our families, their aunts and uncles. It's so much fun. Sometimes we go to the cemetery to visit our grandparents and like that. Or sometimes after Mass, we all go to a restaurant and have lunch. And the kids would have time to, play with their cousins. So it's really fun. So I hope I was able to share enough information about family life here in the Philippines. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'm very glad to answer them. Bye!